to Sarah's Homemade Home. So this is our first episode. It's a welcome to me and it's a welcome to you. Um, I really wanted to get on here and start talking with you guys on YouTube videos. I love doing Instagram and I love doing Facebook. Instagram is it's time constrained. They only allow me to post 3-minute videos. Facebook allows you a whole lot more time um, to be able to post things, but they don't allow you to edit. So it is very hard for me to try to find a medium for you guys. What I'm hearing loud and clear from you is you are loving the full recipes. You guys are loving um, in detail videos, and however, I'm just not able to post them where everybody can see them. So, a lot of people aren't on Facebook, or a lot of people kind of aren't on Instagram. So, we're gonna go for trying to do a few videos here on Facebook, especially that this is canning season. There's a lot of times. Canning season is extremely busy for myself, but my goal with YouTube is to be able to set you guys up here on my counter and you guys can just watch me work away. I can kind of go with you step by step or do a voiceover, just so you guys can see everything that we're doing, because you guys are really learning, you're really taking it all in, and I really think that you're enjoying seeing how to do a lot of things here in my kitchen. So today we are going to talk about this beautiful pot here on my stove, and it is canning season. It's pressure canning. So I myself have wrote down my 2025 goals, and this video is to encourage you to do the same thing for yourself. What I did first is I went down to my actual canning pantry and I wrote down all the things that I have in my canning pantry. Let's just talk about it. This is what we're doing here on YouTube, is we're covering all the things. So currently in my canning pantry, I have chicken stock, pickled beets, green beans, sauerkraut, jalapenos, pimentos, banana peppers, slaw, squash, potatoes, corn, carrots, tomatoes in the cherry tomato, crushed tomato, and tomato sauce. I have chicken soup base. I have pears, whole, and pear sauce. I have peaches, pear butter, apple sauce, strawberry jam, blueberry jam, plum jam, and whole cherries. I have apple jelly, blackberry jelly, and grape jelly. I also have pickles, relish, caramelized onions, and pineapple zucchini. Now, all of those items, some things I need to make more of this year and some things I do not. I'm already stocked on. So what I have done is I put little special stars by each one of those of things that I actually need to make more of this year. And then you can put an X by things that you already have plenty of. You really don't have to stress over if you're getting those put up in your pantry or not. So this page right here is my canning 2025 goals. Y'all, I'm hanging this on my refrigerator because this is my list of what I need to keep up with on what I actually need to be canning. We grow a few things here, but I also buy things from local farmers to can, and I love that. I will support them any day of the week. But with us growing a lot of these things, canning, you have to be very organized, because the food is not going to wait for you. So when you pick it, when you grow it and you pick it, you've got to be able to put it away in a very timely fashion. Otherwise, it is going to spoil. So this list is going to help me keep track of the things that I have growing and the things that I need to put away in order to process all of the things. So first thing on my list is beef stew. Let's just go over the whole list and then we're going to go over all the things. Beef stew, pineapple, pumpkin butter, baked beans, pancake syrup, peaches, peach skin with jelly, navy beans with ham, red beans with peppers, herb potatoes, rosemary beans, green beans, corn, beets, potatoes, carrots, tomato sauce, applesauce, chicken soup base, and pickled red onion. Let's just start at the top. Beef stew. I currently have potatoes, carrots, and onions in my possession that we grew. I showed you guys these in the opening. These are baby carrots that I grew. Now, these were my spring carrots. I knew that they were going to grow, but I really didn't know how big that they were going to get. Spring carrots are kind of hard because you have to set them out so early, because carrots take forever to grow. But you just don't really have the time, because carrots go very bitter whenever it starts getting hot. This is the first week here in East Tennessee that our temperatures are getting in the 90s. These were not going to make it through the week. So what I like to do for my carrots and making the beef stew base is essentially you layer everything raw. So you put raw meat at the bottom, you can do carrots, you can do onions, you can do potatoes, and then you fill the jar with water. You can also add spices if you desire, and then add salt, and then you're going to pressure can this. There's not a whole lot of recipes recipes that I actually can meat, but it is whenever you have like the roast at the bottom, not ground beef, it's honestly, it's very good. And it is so convenient to have in the pantry when you're just trying to make a quick, really big pot of soup for your family. I would love to be able to share that recipe with you guys because it's very good and it's very easy to do. Pineapple. I saw a ton of fresh pineapple last year that I really missed out on buying in the grocery store. And I would love to be able to have some fresh pineapple to put up in the fridge. There's tons of salads, cold salads that we like with Cool Whip, um, like Watergate salad and stuff like that. There's lots of things that crushed pineapple is really, really good in. Pumpkin butter. So this is the end of June and we will be planting pumpkins this week. So the pumpkins that I already have in the freezer, I don't think I roasted them long enough this past year, and they were a little bit watery. I didn't make a ton of pumpkin pies with them. So in order to pull out those last few bags that I have of the freezer, I'm going to dump them in the crock pot and try to make a homemade pumpkin butter. I'm not necessarily trying to can it. We'll see what the consistency is. But just to get those items out of my fridge and into different jars and process better. Baked beans. I would love to be able to share with you guys how to process dry beans. It's not that I grow the beans, but being able to turn dry beans into shelf-stable canned beans just like you buy at the grocery store. I do not have a problem with grocery store beans in any way, shape, or form. I think that they are perfectly fine. However, I have the jars and I am able to process them for myself, and I really love to have them in the pantry. And you can kind of flavor them a little bit different, like baked beans, rosemary beans, and then like red beans with pepper, navy beans with ham. I mean, all of those things you cannot get in the grocery store, but you are able to make your homemade ones flavored, and I'm not going to say that it's better for you. If you have sodium issues, it's wonderful to be able to can your own beans at home because you do not have to add salt unless you want to. So if you have any sodium issues, that is a really great method. Yes, they are pressure canned, but y'all, if you have any fear of pressure canning, we are gonna get over that fear because I'm gonna show you how incredibly easy that it is. Pancake syrup. I saw this recipe for homemade pancake syrup, and essentially it's brown sugar, white sugar, and water. I'm not looking to make like 30 jars of this. I'm looking to maybe make like 3 jars of it. But however, that's a lot less ingredients in the pancake syrup that I'm buying at the grocery store, a lot less preservatives, and I would certainly be interested in trying that. We are beekeepers. We raise our own honey, and we put honey on everything. There's very few things that we do like pancake syrup on, but my kids like pancake syrup just like anybody else's kids. So I'm certainly willing to give that recipe a try, though, to get it maybe to a bit of a better a better product for my kids. Let's just say that. Peaches. We absolutely love peaches in our house. I do not have enough of them in our pantry. It is always a mess. They were really expensive last year, so I did not buy a whole bunch of them. But I would, if I find a good deal on them, I'm going to be buying them and I'm going to be putting them up. Peach skin jelly. This is a super fun recipe that you can do when you have and you are processing your peaches, but essentially you are getting 2 things from that one price tag, and I think that that is so important to learn. That is true home economics, and I would love to be able to share that recipe with you guys. Navy beans with ham. I have some ham in my freezer that is actually from the holidays, like back at Christmas time, but my Marshall loves white beans and navy beans with ham. I mean, who would not love to have that shelf stable and ready to go? Red beans with peppers. So my bestie is a wonderful gardener. Her name is also Sarah, and she gifted me tomato plants and pepper plants this year. She thought that they were jalapeno plants, but they are not. They are a different type of pepper. And I already have a bunch of pickled peppers in my pantry, but we love red beans with rice, with sausages or fried fish or something. We eat a lot of red beans and rice, and I thought that would be delicious to use those peppers and can them with the red beans, and then everything would be just kind of a dump and go in the jar, and kind of buy like some Cajun seasoning spice to put in there with it. I think that that's going to be excellent. I'm really excited about that recipe. Herbs potatoes. So we grew our own potatoes. We harvested 2 rows of them this past week, but essentially you put a clove of garlic in the bottom of your jar and some dried herbs, and then those potatoes soak up all of that wonderful seasoning. I do not like to use canned potatoes for mashed potatoes. It's a consistency thing. They're not my favorite. However, I love to put them in quiche. I love to put them in any kind of soups that I do. I love them in just plain potato soup. And I love them to drain them off and then fry them like a fried potato. So it's not like we consume just bunches and bunches of jars of canned potatoes. However, they are extremely handy to have in the pantry, especially if the power goes out in the wintertime. There's a whole lot of things that you can do with a canned potato. Rosemary beans, oh my gosh, this is one of my mother's recipes and they are absolutely wonderful. This is kind of a cheater method that I do, that I actually put the rosemary and can the white beans in there with them, and then I just have to add a few ingredients to get her recipe finished. They are wonderful, and I have fresh dried rosemary that we grew, so I'm super excited to use that in the canning recipe. Green beans, I have 1 jar of green beans left to my name, and I'm so excited. We have a ton of green beans planted, and y'all, I will be picking them. I will not complain one bit about having to break them and put them up, because we have had none for a very long time. I think we probably ran out before fall. It was probably September, at least September, and we ran out of them. And I've been buying grocery store green beans since then. So I don't have a problem with grocery store green beans, but they do not taste like homegrown green beans. So I need all the jars that I can possibly get of that. Corn. Uh, I don't know how else to properly say it, but we live in a holler. I live in East Tennessee, and where our house is, I live in a holler. We can grow corn, and it is beautiful, and it is tall, and it is gorgeous. And the day before that you're going to pick it, deer and coons come out, and they eat every single last ear of corn. So we have been unsuccessful with corn for at least 6 years. I give up on it. We don't even try to grow it anymore. There is all kinds of wonderful farmers who grow corn way better than I can, and I am more than happy to give them my money and buy their corn. I always try to do peaches and cream corn. That's my personal favorite to be able to put up. So that I definitely will be buying and putting up this year. I do like to freeze some of it as corn on the cob, but I don't think that it lasts like a super long time. So I don't go crazy trying to cram it in the freezer. I would rather have more jars that are pressure canned put up on the shelf that I can just make like fried corn with for Sunday dinners and stuff. Beets. You guys are going to get a recipe on pickled beets. Last year was my first year that I actually processed bulk pickled beets. That was new to me. I always had just done a kind of like a few jars at a time. My family loves them. My husband loves them. My mother-in-law loves them. And the little baby Harrison loves pickled beets. He will eat a whole jar of it if I let him. So I will bring you guys along. I don't have a whole lot of tips and tricks, but I do have a really good tip and trick on pickled beets on how to do them. So it's very messy. I have a beautiful all white kitchen. So just some helpful tips. I would love to be able to show that video with you guys. Carrots. I already have a carrot video posted. I didn't actually film me doing these carrots. These are really simple. These I grew, like I said, in the springtime. I knew that they kind of weren't going to get as big as I wanted them to. I really wanted them for other recipes. They serve their purpose. I'm glad that I grew them. But my bulk carrots that I put away just like this, I grow in the fall. So we're going to be planting more carrots. Carrots love cold weather. You can, here in East Tennessee, my carrots can continue through late October. I mean, we kind of have mild enough temperatures where it's nice and cool, and they grow, and they're super sweet and delicious. So these are just a few jars for us to have kind of over the summertime, but we will be planting and canning carrots closer to the end of canning season. Tomato sauce. I live in Granger County, Tennessee, and we are absolutely 100% known for our tomatoes. We grow the best tomatoes in the world. Yes, I have tomatoes here on the farm and I grow them, but I buy my tomatoes from the tomato farmers. They can grow them way better than I can, and I love to support them, and I love to go and buy like 5, 7 boxes of tomatoes at a time and process them. So the tomatoes that I personally grow, the cherry tomatoes, I will can them, and then I take my tomatoes and just make plain crushed tomatoes with them. You can use those in so many recipes. But my actual tomato sauce is what I get from the tomato farmers. I buy and I process, and I put all the herbs and garlic and all the things and really make a really good sauce, because y'all, that sauce is worth its weight in gold in my lasagnas and all the pastas, fresh pastas, spaghettis. I cannot live without it. I'm a Granger County girl, and I love my tomato sauce. Both of my kids will eat tomatoes raw like an apple. So we love tomatoes here in our house. Applesauce. This is the first year this past fall that I did not make applesauce from our apple tree here on the farm. It died and it absolutely broke my heart. My husband's grandparents planted that tree and it's just more sentimental to me than anything. But I think I just didn't have the heart to even go out and buy apples because it made me so sad, but I should have. Harrison, the baby, absolutely loves applesauce and has eaten every jar that I have. I think I have 1 or 2 jars left, and that's it. This year, we will absolutely be making a ton of applesauce. I'm going to have to buy them regardless. We planted some more apple trees here, but they are not going to be ready to harvest for several years. So, um, I do not put sugar in the applesauce, and it is absolutely wonderful. My kids love it. I would love to be able to share that recipe with you guys so you can do the same. It really is a big money saver when you are buying applesauce throughout the year. Our family loves it. I will serve it um, many times on Sunday suppers. Everybody loves homemade applesauce. Chicken soup base. This is something I really want to share with you guys. We actually do I don't know the proper word to say it. We raise our own meat birds. This is our 6th year, I think, or maybe 7th year that we have been raising our own meat birds. We typically get them at the end of summer, and our harvest slash butcher day is usually Halloween. I know that that's really creepy, but that's when we do it because the weather is perfect. It's not hot weather. Um, Whenever you are processing chickens, I can bring you guys along for that whole episode if you would like to see it. But um, our chicken is fantastic, but that gives me a date. I have 3 freezers in our basement, and one is chicken, one is pork, and one is beef. So by Halloween, that chicken freezer needs to be cleaned out for the most part. Now, I don't use every single bird. Like if I have some birds that are left over from this past year, I won't process those to make this chicken soup base, but anything else that is in there, all the backs, any kind of pieces and parts that I haven't used, those I use up. So you cannot safely can noodles or rice. You will never see me put noodles or rice in any recipe that we are water bath canning or pressure canning. It's just not safe. So what I do is I make chicken soup base. So I take all those pieces and parts of chicken, I cook them in a giant pot, and I make all the homemade chicken stock. And then I pick off all of the chicken, and then into my mason jar, I will put the picked chicken. I will add carrots, onion, and celery, and then top it off with that beautiful homemade stock. Y'all, I absolutely believe in food is a medicinal thing. I think that God intended and knew what we needed in our body, and chicken soup is one of those things. It is a miracle worker. There is not many things that it cannot cure, and I love to have this on hand. Now, last year I canned it in pints, and that is not sufficient for us this year. The boys are a lot bigger. I need to can it in quarts this year, which is perfectly fine. But that's a note to self. We've got to do the chicken soup base by Halloween. Pickled red onion is the last item on my list. I have already done it. I did 30 jars of it. I was so delighted to have this for the pantry. Tuna salad, chicken salad, potato salad, and pasta salad. It's just like relish. So anything that you're just kind of getting a scoop of sweet relish or dill relish and putting it in, that was my goal, to have this pickled onion relish. It's really good. It's very pungent. It's very oniony. But we grew a ton of onions this year, and I'm delighted to have them put up and to be able to use them throughout the winter season. Now, we'll close on just a couple of things. Let's just talk about jars for 1 second. I have been gifted jars from my mother. I have been gifted jars from my mother-in-law. I have bought jars at estate sales, or other people have gifted them to me. I have been very blessed in that. But a lot of the jars that I got, Sam's did a deal probably about 2 years ago where they were selling, I think it was 16 pint jars for like $10 or $12. I bought 200. I bought 200 jars. So that is the bulk of my canning jars that I have. I have bought them myself. So if you're just getting into canning, don't be discouraged. I started off really small as well, but when you come across really good deals like that, y'all need to hop on them because they are not going to last. And that's the thing with canning. Once you get your start and you get all of your equipment, yes, the canner is expensive. Yes, the jars are expensive. Yes, the water bath thing is expensive, but once you get all of this, you do not have to reinvest every single year. You're just continuing and rotating things out, and you're able to just keep going and keep growing just like anything else. I love you guys. I'm so appreciative that you're here and that you've stuck it out for this video. I really just want to take 1 second and my family and I will be the first one to tell you we do not eat healthy. We really don't, but we do not eat processed. That is really that is a passion of mine, that I try to provide my family with foods that just have, they don't need this extra junk that is in it that you find in the grocery store. So as much things that I can get as homemade, as many things as I can myself, I'm willing to do that because I really feel like it is a better and superior product for my family. I wish the grocery stores didn't add all this stuff to our food, but unfortunately that they do. Um, so we're just kind of in the middle, and we're going to do our best. We're going to can the things that we can can. And y'all, even if you just canned tomato sauce this year, or if you just did one thing, start with that one thing. I encourage you. If you never start, you're never going to get started. So start with the canning. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. It's definitely going to be a canning video because we are in the thick of it. Summertime has started and things are rolling in. Today I need to process squash, zucchini. I need to process, what else do I have? Squash, zucchini, and I need to process some more onions. So I need to get busy here in the kitchen. I'm so glad that you guys joined me this morning. If you enjoyed this video, please just leave me a little like button or leave me a comment. You know that I love hearing from you guys. Share if you have some other people who you think would like to come along in this journey with me and you. I love you guys so much, from my kitchen, from my heart to yours.